to the last episode, little Tony. By now, you've already learned the important skills needed to invest in stocks. Paano kumilala ng company at masabing magandang mag-invest dito? Paano mabili ang stock nito sa mababang presyo based on their patterns? At sa previous episode, nasubukan mo nang bumili ng stock using your Learn2Trade Asia platform. Let's say you already bought your first stock at a good price. The last thing for you to learn is, when do I sell? This is where everyone varies based on their personality, risk appetite, and circumstances. Here you will have to pick one and stick to it, because having a disciplined approach will help you thrive in the long run. Are you going to hold on to its long-term story, or do you intend to make a quick profits in the short-medium term? Long-term investors often do an in-depth review of the company and ride on their growth until maturity or until their plans are brought into fruition. In general, these investors hold on to or accumulate shares of the company for 1 year and more. Pwede kang maghulog-hulog ng investment sa company or reinvest mo paulit-ulit yung profits, called compounding. Pure traders often skip the fundamentals of the company and just focus on stock's volatility. The gains can be stellar, but it's also highly risky if you don't know what you're doing. Nag-vary din ang time frame ng traders. Some buy and sell stocks within a day, called day traders. Sila kadalasan ang ginagawang full-time business ang pag-trade sa stock market. Meron din namang short-term traders na ang holding period ay within days, within weeks, or within a few months. Finally, we have those in between called casual traders who mix both. Meron long-term investments, meron short-term trades, kinikilala ang company at tinitingnan ang price patterns nito. The important thing to remember is to go with strategy that fits your budget and schedule. Stick to that strategy and keep it simple. It's hard to force yourself to be a full-time trader if you have a busy day job, or to invest in the long term when you're a very impatient person. Whatever approach fits you, always prepare for two possibilities, the good and the bad. Because just like any other investment, there's risk involved in stocks. So, how do I prepare for the good and the bad, you ask? If you want to go for the long-term investing approach, then it's good to sell on news or kapag nangyari na yung grand plan ng company. If it's a bad investment, you can average down, assuming the growth story is still intact. Let's say you bought here. After some bad turn of events, the price went down. Chances are, if the foundations and story of the company are still intact, it's only a temporary downtrend. By averaging down, you buy more shares at these lower prices so that when the price eventually recovers, bumaba din ang break-even price mo. By the time it reaches your original buying price, you've already made some profit. However, if the growth targets or promises of the company seem bleak, then it might be better to cut your losses. It's tough to do, but a very important skill in risk management. For short-term trades naman, it's as simple as following the patterns. As mentioned in a previous video, if the trend is going sideways, you buy on support, then sell on resistance. If it's an uptrend, well, that's a lesson for another episode. If it's a bad trade, very important to strictly cut your losses small. And it's always recommended to have a strict stop-loss rule between 3% to 10%, so you never lose big. As an added tip, we also recommend that you do test buying, so you also limit the risk. Say we go with a 5% stop-loss rule. If you have a total of 50,000 pesos to invest for the stock, if you go all in, then you lose 2,500 pesos. Whereas, if you do test buy first, let's say 10,000 pesos muna, then if it's a bad trade, you only lose 500. If it turns out to be a good trade, then you start buying with the remaining 40,000. It's that simple. And that, little Tony, is how you prepare for the good and the bad. Kahit pang long-term investing o short-term trading ang gusto mo. Congratulations for finishing this webinar series, little Tony. you're ready to embark on your trading or investing journey. Start applying everything you've learned by opening your very own To Trade Asia account. Click the link on the description below. You now know the concepts, but experience will always be the best teacher. May the odds be ever in your favor. Never give up. And cheers to your financially free future.